You're listening to Radio in the Weeds. Enjoy the show. Howdy, y'all. Yeah. Come in. Make yourself at home. If you just have a nice seat here, and I'll go, do the burgers.
Yeah, here's good. Here's perfect.
Yeah. That's fine.
Brilliant. Thank you. Well, we'll catch you in a bit.
So, everyone, we are currently at Rick's Barbecue. Matt's been very excited for this.
I'm gushing,
event.
absolutely gushing.
He wouldn't shut up. He wouldn't stop talking about it for the last few months.
This is the best thing ever. There's Americans around. There's guns. There's sausages on the barbecue. I'm really excited.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of guns. We didn't realise how many guns there would be, but as soon as we went into Texas, it was guns everywhere, guns on the road, just thrown out. I think they have a one-use policy, so they fire one bullet off a pistol and then chuck it away like disposable.
Yeah. I think when we got into our taxi after from the airport,
he pulled a gun on us.
Well, he pulled a gun on us, and he was like, "Oh, we're gonna shoot! I'm gonna shoot you!" And then he laughed. And then he was just joking, lads. And then he gave Scott a handgun and me an MLG. Is it MLG?
Yeah.
MLG's no. It's the
LMG.
LMG.
Light machine gun.
Sorry, we're not American.
LSD.
An LSD or an MLG or a BBC. I don't know.
He gave you all of them.
And then so to protect ourselves as we're going through the mean streets of where did we land into? Is it Dallas?
It was Dallas. And then we walked all the way to Texas. Apart from the taxi driver, basically what happened was we got in the taxi from Dallas Airport.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot you," and he gave us a gun, and we were all like, "Oh, that's nice," and we were chatting with him. He seemed like a nice guy. And then basically what happened is about 5-10 minutes into the ride, he gets shot with a sniper rifle. Just head explodes all over the windshield, and we're in the middle of nowhere, and bandits come out. So me and Matt, we've never fired a gun before,
No.
So even though we had these guns to defend against the bandits, we weren't very prepared. So I went to Matt, do you want to fight or do you want to just run away? And he was all for running away, and so was I. So we basically just got out, sprinted, let him have the taxi, and from then on, we haven't seen another car.
No, we haven't. We've rang taxi places, and I think they just can't understand our accent.
And we ran them up, and all they said was bottle of water. As soon as they heard our voice,
so we're like, "Oh, the Golden Majesty, the King's arrived," and we're like, "Hey, can we please just get a lift, please?" And they're like, "No," and then they just.
Well, I thought he actually had arrived. I was like, "Really?" And they were like, "No."
Yeah,
I was like, damn it.
I think we landed on the wrong day because we've been here for a couple of days making our way to Rick's family house,
which is in the middle of Texas, if no one remembered.
Yeah, just right in the middle. If you triangulate from all the corners, right in the center. I think the Rick's family. What's his last name? Does he have a last name?
Rick?
Rick. That's it. The Ricks are almost a royal family in Texas. But I think there's been a lot of rioting since we've been here because of the Trump assassination attempt. And since then there's been anarchy, there's been just people shooting left, right, centre. I think someone thought I was Trump and tried to shoot me. Someone thought Scott was the guy. He looks like the lad who tried to assassinate Trump. So
and
really
they also
confusing.
thought I was the lady that's now running against Trump, who is, not white and is also a woman.
Yeah, 50 odd.
Which I thought was a bit strange. But apparently, Texans don't understand race.
No.
They don't see colour. They just shoot at everyone. Because basically the Texans have been so isolated in their little bubble. that they actually don't know the difference between a white British man and a non-white American woman.
Yeah, I think they just hear anyone that hasn't got a very Texan accent as a foreigner who deserves to die.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, because I thought we were going to be like almost royalty to them, because we've been to lots of different places in America. Everyone they absolutely love the British accent, and I thought it was going to be the same, because Rick seemed to like it on our podcast.
Rick's lovely as well. Rick is a really lovely guy.
Yeah, I think it's unlike most Texans. Most Texans have been not very nice.
It threw us when we arrived, and we instantly we just saw a man die right in front of us, and we were a bit put off.
It's like a GTA lobby.
Yes, but in the desert.
Yeah,
with no city and nothing around.
No cool hookers around to entertain you or anything like that. It's just Rick and his family. Rick has a massive family, by the way. We're just looking around. There's like 50 people in. I think they're all related.
Yeah, they're all except for Colin has just arrived, but he hasn't seen us yet. No, so
what's he doing? Why is he bending? What the hell? He's bending over and showing this old lady. I think isn't that Rick's nan? His ass.
Yeah,
it is. God, why? I reckon Colin friends now.
Maybe they have like a little been on Radio in the Weeds group chat.
Yeah, maybe there's a whole group of people,
of ex-contestants that just come on. That'd be weird. Yeah, I want to be a part of that group chat. I suppose.
Are they either loving us or are they hating on us?
Well, Rick's invited to his barbecue, so I feel like they've got some of us. I think Colin loves us a bit too much.
Well,
to be honest,
I think Colin loves you. I think specifically. I think.
Well,
Colin's
when I turned it down, he did offer to fuck you as well.
Yeah, but
I turned it down.
It's different. You're his prime choice.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll just keep our head down for now and hope he doesn't see us. Although, in the sea of blonde hair, because Rick's blonde and every single member of his family is also blonde, including his grandma, who somehow has not got grey hair, even though she's 90-odd.
She looks very, chipper and spry for her age.
She does. She's got that...
I wonder how they make them down here.
Well, clearly she's got that lumberjack in, the forests of Texas. She's got the great, the great and famous forests of Texas.
Those desert forests.
She's got those gnarled hands from lumberjacking. So she's a strong woman, strong, feisty woman. That.
I'm interested to speak to her later. So we so we got. So I'm just trying to think what anything else that happened on our journey here. We took a flight over. We seemed pretty.
Well, should we talk about what happened before the flight back in England?
Oh,
because that was a whole palaver. Because basically, as we said, all the Americans were phoning us up, being like, the King of England's come. And that was actually because he was supposed to come.
Sausage hands.
So what they said was quite true. And that's why I believed them. I was like, oh shit, he made it. But he isn't. He isn't in America. We are. But basically, when we got to the airport, we went to... Luton Airport.
The big one.
Yeah, the big Luton one in England. And for some reason, instead of Heathrow or any actual place in the centre of London, the King came to Luton.
Yeah, I think he loves Luton. He wants to be the Duke of Luton, and he has a bit of a fascination with Luton. I don't know why, because Luton is, by all accounts, a fucking shithole, but I digress.
But so me and Matt have done we know the King. We've sort of I feel like every British person sort of knows the King.
Well, we've done him a lot of favours, haven't we?
Yeah. We've sent a few people to the gallows for him. We've done a bit of tax evasion for him, even though he's the King.
Killed his
everyone pays the taxes,
his ex-wife.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly.
Oh yeah, sorry, allegedly, yeah.
Yeah. wasn't ever proved.
No, we weren't born, but we time travelled, and then it's a whole thing.
So we're quite close to it, but once he became like king in the last few years, he's got a bit big for his boots, you know.
Yeah,
he's
I can't tell if you think this. I think he's just a busy man. You know, he isn't the king of England. He has other people to see, other dignitaries.
Yeah.
Maybe he just hasn't got time for us. You assume that he hates us, and he no longer is down with us. I think he's still a fan.
We used to go fishing every Wednesday, and he keeps saying, "Oh yeah, I'll go," and then he floats out last second.
Yeah, almost like me recording this podcast.
Yeah, literally the same as you.
But we're here,
and I'm just feeling a bit low in self-esteem, because you're floating out of the podcast, he's floating out of fishing. I just feel like, why does no one want to hang out with me?
Maybe this is why I sympathise with him. So we're just me and Charlie Boy are just busy men, which is what I call him.
But then when he sees us, he's like, I am now the king of it. He's got that haughty voice. He never used to have that haughty voice before.
I am the king of England.
Yeah, he started speaking French for some reason. That's really weird. But yeah, he never spoke French before, but for some reason, when he became king, he's suddenly developed a French accent.
Yeah, that bit I don't like. Seems
it's really weird. It seems almost racist, because he isn't French, and he's really trying to be.
Do you like my sausage fingers?
And it's not good as well. It's a horrible accent. Yeah. It's super racist.
I can't actually do a perfect French accent, but I'm doing his bad one.
Yeah, that's the impression of Charles.
Yes, of course, yeah.
So he arrived at the airport with all of his entourage, all of his guards and all the palace guards were there in their full uniform because they escort him everywhere he goes.
And his solid gold private jet as well, ready.
Yeah, and his throne. They carried him in on a throne. And he saw us, and I was like, "Oh, Matt, keep your head down. I don't want to talk to him." And he saw us because he was on a massive throne, being lifted high over the people, so he had a good vantage point. And he saw us from across the airport. And he shouted to us like, "Oh, Matt Scott!" So I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And we went to like, "Hi, King Charles, how you doing?"
Kiss his sausage fingers. I keep bringing up the sausage fingers. They're gross as fuck.
Yeah, he loves touching you with it. Is the kiss on the cheek as well? He'll clasp your face in the street. I don't know if this is what Liz taught him, or But he clasps your face with both hands with the sausage fingers, and he gives you a big wet smooch on each of your cheeks. Really disturbing. Why would you do that to your friends?
No, I think he thinks it's like
endearment.
He's just a bit of a weird guy, to be honest.
Yeah, but then he was like, "Oh, I insist you come with me on my private jet," and we were like, "You're not." Like, where are you going in America? Because we're going to our mate Rich's house in Texas. And he goes, "Oh, I'm going to New York." And I was like, "Well, that's not fucking near Texas, is it? So why would we go on your private jet?" He was like, No, I'm not taking no for an answer." So we basically had to walk with him. Well, we had to walk. He was on his throne. And by the time we got to his jet, 3 of his guards had passed out and died from dehydration.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Charles, your guards are dying." And he was like, "Oh, no matter, I've got more." And I was like, "Well, that's just a bit mean."
Yeah, but when he's fishing, when it was like back in the day, 5 or 6 years ago, when we would be fishing with him, he would be like, he'd have the most chavvy England accent.
Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah.
It was like, "We're going to catch a big meaty one today, aren't we, lads?"
Fish,
yeah. Whoa, the lads. Yeah, he was. And now he's gone all like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's putting it on. He's so putting it on because it's ridiculous, to be honest. So we had to walk with him all the way to his private jet, and then I said to Matt, like, once we got there, he was busy. I don't know what he was doing. The king was like fiddling about with something or talking to his guards. And I just took Matt aside and was like, "What? Well, we can't go on this jet because then we'll be ages away from Texas." So me and Matt basically had to sneak out and go to our flight because
Yeah.
we'd already booked the tickets. We'd spent money on this flight.
Well, and
the
also,
king-
how the fuck would we get to Rick's if we landed in New York? We're not gonna.
Yeah,
it would be
take.
just,
We'd have to take another plane.
yeah, and that's just we're not the made of money.
So basically, yeah. So we escaped. We just snuck off. Tried to board into our plane. Almost got to the gate when we heard a commotion behind us, and like Charles had said, all of his like 50 to 100 armed guards to try and search us down because he was really upset that we left. So
Yeah,
suddenly
really
we were thrust
weird.
into like this Jason Bourne situation where we had to like, you know, duck into toilets to avoid the guards and sneak onto the plane. It was just a whole thing.
Yeah, and then we had to dress up as like the pilots and like.
Yeah, which I think was illegal.
Yeah, and people say all the time, like like I think it's like 70% of men believe that they could land a plane on their own if they're in some sort of emergency situation. But then like regular people say no, it's because no one can do that. It's so damn complicated. Not a regular person with no training cannot handle like an aircraft of that size. But we just tied up the like the pilot and co-pilot, chucked him in the whatever you call it, the
fan for the airplane.
Yeah, that killed
you know,
them.
the jet.
They were like blood everywhere on the runway.
Yeah, just threw them in there.
Then it did, but it didn't have it like caused no harm to the engine. And then we just took off.
No, yeah.
Simple. And then we landed in Dallas.
Yeah, literally.
It was like no problem. There was like no turbulence. It
was so easy.
Yeah, like I think the king kept ringing me on my phone, but
I blocked him. I've actually just blocked him.
Yeah,
now,
I don't want
because
to block
I'm fed up.
him. I feel we can turn him around. We could like make him back to old Charlie boy.
It pisses me off. It pisses me off now.
I don't want to cut all ties to him though. It's just he is our king at the end of the day.
But anyway, so you can imagine our stress when we went through that whole palaver, and then we got on the plane, had to fly the plane, land the plane, which actually was the easiest part of our whole
really
day.
easy. I don't know why people say it's difficult.
Piss easy. I was basically asleep for the whole thing. So
wait, were you?
Yeah.
Well, so was I.
Oh really?
Oh.
That's how
Right.
easy it is.
Yeah, I guess.
Literally, we did it in our sleep.
I think they should be paid that much. Pilots.
I think they should. Yeah, they should just shut the damn whole mouth. That's for...
Yeah, I think that all they need to do is just stop terrorists like us stealing their planes. But
yeah.
at least we didn't land them in a building.
Oh, we did kill 2 people.
Which were the pilots.
Is that murder or is that terrorism?
I guess terrorism.
Because we didn't inspire any terror.
Yeah, exactly.
Did
Well,
we?
it needs to be for like a particular cause, and our
Yeah,
cause
it was a private event of throwing them into the fan. Our cause was I want to get to Texas.
Exactly. It was just our like desire to
just
get to where
sort
we're
of
going.
for convenience rather than any actual religion or belief. But yeah, so you can imagine our stress when we flew the plane, landed in Texas, Dallas, sorry.
Yeah.
And then immediately we were thrown into another situation where the taxi driver got his brains blown out in front of us, and we were walking along this desert road all the way to Rick's house. It was just a bit stressful, you know. So,
which I think is why this place seems like such a paradise in comparison. We've been literally walking through the desert.
Oh, so nice.
And then we saw this like practically a mansion, realistically.
Yeah,
with,
like a mansion crossed with like a ranch house.
Exactly, yeah. Where it's like beautiful wood and like the
from the famous forests.
Yeah, exactly. There's this beautiful wood carving of like a mural of Rick and his family and all the great deeds they've done throughout history.
It takes up the whole wall.
Yeah, because it's weird because obviously Rick and his family are of European descent, but they've lived in the state of Texas for 2,000 years.
Yeah,
it's very peculiar, and they've they've like been English. They speak English, and they're Christians and everything, and they've had these like AR-15s for the last 200 years. 2,000 years.
Because everyone knows AR-15s were invented 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, well, but
at the birth of Christ.
Yeah, exactly, but only the Rick family had them.
Yeah. Well, that's actually what they gifted the baby Jesus. When he was born, they gave him the AR-15.
Yeah, there's frankincense, myrrh, gold,
and an
AR-15 by Rick. Yeah. I think that's what the Mormons, they're the correct.
That's what they do.
That's what they teach. That because I think the Christianity that we learn at school,
they block it out.
They just
they mislap it out.
They miss out the whole Rick giving baby Jesus AR-15.
It was Rick as well. Rick's like an immortal being.
Yeah. I think
Rick's been alive for 2,000 years.
Yeah. Well, I think. Well, I don't want to spill the beans on our podcast, but I think he is an immortal being. But it's. To the public, it's like he just redresses as like I'm the son. I'm like a new son.
And, definitely, and they all just look similar.
Person, yeah. He just changes his haircut and gets a slightly different shaped mustache.
Yeah, exactly.
He has a beautiful handlebar mustache at the minute. It's glorious, blonde, macho.
It is, and a lot of his sons as well also have the exact same mustache.
Yeah, I think when like a new man becomes in charge, which is the same man, it's weird. It's hard to cope to understand what's going on. But then they all, cause as a group, change their mustache style.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of his kids are immortal. I just know that he is.
Yeah, I think they're like clones of him that are his children, and when they become of age, he puts his brain in their body. So it's almost it's like
we'll have to ask him.
It's like the that famous story of the ship I can't remember. You know it, won't you?
Go on. The Argonauts.
The ship of the something like that.
It's the Argonauts. What's the ship called? It's Jason and the Argonauts. What's the ship called?
But everyone knows what we're on about. The ship of Theseus.
Theseus. It's the ship of Theseus, not Jason.
Which could you explain to our listeners who may not know what that is?
So the philosophical debate of the ship of Theseus is essentially a Greek debate where the ship of Theseus was put into a museum and it's eventually rotted, and every time it rots, like a plant of wood rots, they replace it. Once all of the plants of wood have rotted and been replaced, is it still the ship of Theseus, or is it something else?
Yeah, and that relates back to...
Some might say.
Rick and his clones, how he puts his brain into clones of himself. So is it the same Rick, or is it him, or is it a son? It's quite confusing.
Yeah, who knows? But, should we ask... Rick!
You're right, come here.
Rick? Yeah, howdy guys. How's it going?
Hi, yeah, you're right. We're just, we're still doing our podcast. You're live on Radio of the Week, which you've obviously been before.
Again, as well. Love it.
Which I think, from our responses, your episode was rated the highest and had the most views out of all of our episodes.
Well, that's mighty nice of you.
We were just wondering how, you know that you're some sort of an immortal god.
Yep.
And all your you've got, what, 15 sons at the minute?
23.
Oh, 23. Now. I'm glad you said more, because I was just wondering what were all their names.
Well. Well, the thing is, the Rick family has a sort of a tradition where...
are they just all called Rick?
They are all called Rick.
Oh, damn it.
Because, basically, in order to pass on the genes, that we have to... keep the same name, keep it in the family.
Of course. So your dad was called Rick.
Yep, Rick.
Yeah, and then his dad.
His father before him, and his father before him.
Beautiful. So are they actual clones, or do you do you have a mother?
No, I was created at the start of the universe.
Okay.
So I'm actually
sorry for laughing.
I'm actually a primordial being. And basically how it works is there's only one of me.
Yeah.
So it's just me. I'm the primordial being. I can change my shape whenever I want. So if people are getting a bit suspicious of me, I'll just alter my my face a bit, my body a bit, so people think it's sort of going down the generations. But all these kids are demigods, so they will age and they will die. But I teach them as much as I can before they pass on.
So if you
would you like a burger?
Oh yes, please. Yeah, great.
Oh yeah, I'll have one. Yeah, cheers.
Is it vegan?
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I'm just joking, Rick.
Oh, thank God. I would have got my shotgun. I would have went and got my shotgun.
Yeah, I'll have pork burger. Is it beef?
Yeah, beef.
Oh, brilliant. Yummy. I can't remember what I was saying now.
Yummy. Oh,
yummy. Sorry.
Num 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 in my tongue. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate that. That's yummy dummy, that is.
I was gonna ask it. Oh yeah, that was the question I was gonna ask. So if you were so how do you have? So who's your father? Was it a different universe? Because if you were the start of this universe, and your father must have been before the universe, is it a different universe?
No, it's more of a your human minds might not be able to comprehend it.
I'm struggling. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, there are a number of primordial beings at the start of this universe, and they collectively, God was one of them. God was a primordial being, but there's several others as well, and I was one of them. So I worked with God when he was creating the world. And I sort of oversaw a lot of the Andromedus galaxy. That was me.
Oh, nice.
I worked with him on that. Didn't have much to do with Earth, but after God showed it to me, I was like, that is really, really cool. So I was like, I'm gonna trade body, and I'm gonna go down there, and I've been living here ever since. I think it's really cool what he's done with the place.
Well, me and Scott, I don't know if you've listened to some of the recent episodes, me and Scott have had some run-ins with God quite recently.
Big
long adventure, didn't we, Scott?
Yeah, we did.
We saw him having sex with
he had sex with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sex with the meteor. Yeah, I heard.
To stop the Nazis, of course.
That's God for you.
Yeah.
That's he's a horny little bastard.
Unlike you, Rick. Oh.
Well, I get around, you know. I've got about 57 kids.
Yeah, Debbie. So this. I'm drawn again to your like Nan. I'm assuming your grandmother, who was her
your grandmother that's still got blonde hair even after 90 years of age.
Yeah, and looking pretty strong and fit. I'm assuming she's some sort of demigod. No.
So she was actually my first wife. Well, not my first wife. My first, technically should be my 13th wife, but she's, the last wife that's alive. The oldest wife that I have.
Right.
Because a lot of these, over the years, I've told about my primordial powers to the people I love most. But there comes a point where, your wife gets to, 80, 90, and you're still looking like a 20-year-old. And then we have sort of a polyamorous thing going on, where I then get another younger wife, and we all just sort of live in the same place. And we just have one big family.
So you're almost like the, what's his bloody name now? The Playboy guy that died. What's his name?
Playboy guy?
Oh fucking hell! I shouldn't have brought it up. The guy, the guy wears he wears like dressing gowns, and he's old, and he had
that's
the Playboy Mansion guy. What's his name?
I know sort of who you're on about, but is that something he did? Is that something he did? He fucked with the Playboy people?
Yeah, well, no, he had like 3 girlfriends at once. Like all of his Playboy bunnies would be his girlfriends, and like when they would get hired as Playboy bunnies, they would have to pretend to be his girlfriend. It was weird. What's his? I'm gonna have to Google it now.
That is.
Let me get my laptop open on this in this garden.
Yeah.
Sorry for stopping the podcast, Rick. Do you know who I'm on about, don't you, Rick? At all? I'm sure you've had sex with Playboy bunnies.
No, I'm quite a monogamous person, even though I have a polyamorous relationship. I wouldn't cheat. I only have sex with the people in my polyamorous relationship.
Right. What was his name?
Yeah, you're holding a whole club
sorry. His name is Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner! Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah. Basically, so I'm assuming that Rick is like Hugh Hefner, where he just, everyone that he brings to this glorious ranch. This is like the I don't know, the ranchiest ranch.
This is like the ranchiest ranch I've ever ranched.
I can think of a good adjective.
It's pretty ranchy, this ranch.
I was going to call it the most paradisical ranch.
Paradisical.
But it's a good ranch. Yeah.
Well, I based this ranch off the the Garden of Eden, actually.
Ooh.
So you see that like waterfall with all the parakeets and the puffins and stuff. That was actually
puffins. It's his favourite animal.
What do you? How do you know that?
I watched a lot of Playboy Bunny, whatever the program was. It was a good watch of mine.
Okay.
The listeners know. I think one of his girlfriends used to call him.
Hugh Hefner around here, then bloody hell.
I think he's dead. Go, Rick. You can go to the after wherever they keep all the dead people. Do you think he'd be in hell or heaven, Rick?
Hugh
Hefner.
That's not really my department. I sort of left that up to God.
Yeah, well, you can have an opinion.
What about where I think he is?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know the guy.
Is hell?
What's he done? Is he a bad guy?
Well, he was just the creator of one of the most prolific porn magazines ever in the history of the world.
Well, that doesn't sound bad.
No.
Porn isn't necessarily bad.
No, it's not. But do you
he
believe that
entertained a lot of people?
Did you not think looking at porn's a sin? Do you believe in sin? So do you? Because obviously, assuming because you know God as like a colleague, like a friend, or just a peer.
Yeah.
So the whole week.
Yeah, we haven't caught up in a while, but an old friend maybe.
So we have a big cult of personality around him on Earth. Some people it's falling out of fashion in some parts of the world, but a lot of the world love him. So
Tetson's love God. I can't go more than 5 feet without hearing his name.
So do you not wonder that if you could be in that position instead of him, because you're basically the same power level.
Well, see, God's always been sort of he's a control freak, So he was always the one in charge of the projects, and he was always the one that sort of wanted the limelight, wanted the credit. And some of the beings weren't okay with that, and they went and did other things on the other side of the universe. But I've always been cool with God. I've let him take the reins. I never really wanted to be the person everyone looks up to. I just want to have my quiet life in Texas. Grill some burgers, and have a nice life.
To be honest, that sounds the better. To be fair, you're just not as egotistical as God. That sounds, you've got it made. To be honest, it sounds like a great life here.
Yeah.
Got a banging barbecue.
A brilliant family.
Brilliant family. A Colin is about though. We've seen.
So we've seen Colin around. Are you two friends, or why is he? I didn't know you knew him. Yeah, I knew him. So basically, he came on your show, I believe.
Yeah.
So I didn't know who he was. I'm not even sure if I listened to that episode. I think
it was the New Year's resolution episode. I think he was on. Maybe. I think.
Maybe I listened to it, but I didn't really know who he was. But one day he turned up at my house.
That sounds like
and
Colin.
I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, there's a random guy outside my house. So I, got my AR-15 and I went out to greet him, with the usual spray of bullets at his feet and screaming, "What are you doing here?" And he basically went, "Oh, my name's Talon. I was on Radio in the Weeds, and I was hoping he heard me on there." And he was like, "Matt likes you, and Scott liked you, so therefore, if I'm friends with you, I could get closer to them."
Oh, okay.
Which I thought was a bit weird because So I was like, I'd rather you didn't come to me with this, pretext of you don't actually want to be my friend, but
it's
you want
a bit disingenuous, isn't it?
But then we started talking, and he was, he's very polite. He's a very polite guy, and basically he heard, we're not really friends, but he left that day, and he hadn't come back in ages, but he heard on the podcast that I invited you to a barbecue. And then basically, I don't know how he got my number, but he got my number and he just sent me loads of texts. Just constantly, like, every 5 minutes of the day, just constantly barraging me with, like, "Can I come to your barbecue? When's the barbecue? Are Scott and Matt going to be at the barbecue?" And it got to a point where I was like, "Fuck it. You can come to the barbecue if you want. Like, just stop bothering me." So I told him the date, and here he is.
Yeah, he did show his ass to your ex-wife now, that I believe, or your nan, I don't know what you like to call her, earlier. Which I think is
she's been around a while. I'm sure she's fine with that. I mean, I did warn everyone about Colin.
He has got a nice ass, I have to say. Colin is got the most weird, because he's like an older gentleman. He's in his late 50s, I think. But he has the most unwrinkled, most beautiful, like plain, smooth ass imaginable.
I don't want to interrupt your sort of infatuation with Colin right now.
No, it's not an infatuation. I'm just telling the truth.
Well, I'm just saying he is butt naked in your waterfall thing. Oh shit! I'm gonna go and sort this out. You guys enjoy your burgers.
Cheers.
I'll catch up with you later.
Thanks for the chat. Thanks for telling us all your God stuff. Thanks.
Right. Well, that was enlightening.
Yeah. What the fuck is Colin doing?
I don't know.
Drunk?
I don't know.
We know that he likes the drugs.
Well, he's not just spreading his legs open for it, in which trying to fish him out with a net. So this is everyone's watching. It's very embarrassing.
Yeah, I think. Oh shit! Is that
what?
Is one of Rick's wives got a gun?
My god! Several of them do. Several of them have got a gun.
Okay.
They've now got handguns and they're moving slowly but surely towards Colin in the waterfall.
Okay, well he's doing some sort of like dance, like almost like a rain dance to try to.
Yeah.
He must be on something. He does like his drugs.
I don't know. I think this could be just normal Colin.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Okay.
Oh, let's drop him down.
Yeah, I think Rick's taking him away. He's kicking and screaming. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's getting dragged towards the house.
Okay, well, he's going inside now. All right, well, I think...
Okay, that's fine.
Maybe we'll see him later, if he can escape. But, okay, good, because I thought we were going to see Colin's head get blown off then.
His family don't look happy.
No.
They're sort of... I think they've calmed a bit down, but that was... You can feel the tension in the air.
I was going to say, you could the vibe in this was... It was an absolute lit party.
It was lovely.
And now, of course, Colin had to ruin it.
Are the flames on that grill supposed to be that high?
I don't think so. Is that something coming out of the flames?
I don't know what...
Looks like a...
No one seems to care.
There's a definite like humanoid stepping out of the flames. And
I think that's the devil.
It does look like
it
the
looks
devil.
like some sort of demon.
Oh, Rick's just chilling. He just dapped him up.
Back in the garden.
Just dapped up the demon. Can you get Rick to come over and introduce us?
Yeah. Rick, wait, come over here for a sec.
Yeah, Rick, come here. We want to meet your friend.
Yeah, howdy guys. This is Satan.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Hello.
Nice to meet you, Satan.
Sorry,
bloody hell!
Sorry, there was
Hot handshake.
Sorry, there was something in my throat there.
Oh, so this is your normal voice?
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what that was.
Okay.
Yes.
So, how long have you two known each other?
Oh, since the start of the universe, of course.
Yes, this is the beginning of time.
Yes.
Well, Satan was actually, the Bible was right about, Satan was a fallen angel, so he was actually on our team. He helped God create the earth.
Yes. Well, let's be honest now, everyone, gentlemen. Scott Matthews.
Okay.
I've watched your podcast and listened to it, all episodes.
Oh, great! You know what? Sorry, but that's amazing. The fact that Satan himself is like, I'm starstruck.
Well, I just like stuff in the world that is absolutely shit. And that's what the world would be boring if it was, because God made the world and He wanted it to be perfect and beautiful and no sin. And how fucking boring would the world be if there was no sin? If there was no porn and wars and violence, So
is our podcast classed as a sin then?
Well, you played a game. On one of them with some sex noises.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, right.
You had a whole episode dedicated to Colin, who's some sex-aroused.
We didn't know he was that fucked up before we got him on the podcast. True. In fairness to us.
Well, it's a good podcast, boys, but it's not. It's not like the most saintly thing in the world, is it?
Well, I'm glad you're still a fan.
Of course. But yes, me and Rick go a long way back.
Why didn't you tell him how your dad thrown out of heaven?
Oh yes, so it was actually.
This is a funny story.
It's hilarious. It's not what God and his so-called son like to believe. I call him the so-called son because Jesus is actually my son, believe it or not.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah, because, of course, do you really believe that God would fuck some, boring old, random Jewish woman called Mary or whatever?
Mary, yeah.
I can tell you now, she is not God's type whatsoever, but I went down there and fucked the living shit out of her with my devil horns and planted my demon seed inside of her.
Jesus.
And, but obviously I couldn't just do that and leave it. So I did, because this is where the funny bit come in. Like,
yeah.
You like this bit. So I went to God and said, this is when I was still a part of the system. I was still an angel.
Yeah.
I told him, I think there's one of your miracles has happened. All you have to do with God when you're talking to him is just inflate his ego. Very easy. Just say, I think one of your miracles has happened to God. There seems to be a lady in Bethlehem. Her name is Mary, and she's a virgin. And guess what? She's pregnant. And the stars. And I've been reading the secret stars. And we read stars like their prophecies. And it says that he's your son. He's God. In a human form, and he lapped it up like some sort of fucking retard. Like I said, just inflate his ego, tell him what he wants to hear, and he believe it wholeheartedly. And yes, so I just tricked the whole world, and Jesus is actually my son. And
so he found out about that. When did he?
Who God or
Gods? Yeah.
No, he didn't. He still hasn't found out.
Well, so why did he get thrown out of heaven?
So I got thrown out of heaven because. So basically, I So after Mary died, she went to heaven with God, because obviously God decides who goes to heaven and hell.
Yeah.
And while I was up there, obviously, Mary wanted to go, was trying to find some of that devil cock that she loved so much the first time, and she came to my quarters of heaven, and we had the most glorious sex ever imagined it. I think it's gone down in the history of the most. It lasted for days, and there was so much bleeding and cum everywhere. It was amazing. God. And then, but God walked in on us and thought, he misunderstood the situation.
Oh, so he thought.
But obviously, by this point,
she was cheated.
Mary had been dead for a couple of days. Obviously, the sex lasted a long time, and then God sent me down to hell to rule the damned. Yeah, pretty funny story, right?
Wow, that's
yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot, and it's very enlightening. I have to say,
hilarious.
The Bible never mentions that your great sexual conquest.
No, because God decides what's in the Bible.
Oh, true. Yeah, it's all fixed, isn't it?
Yeah, he wants to be the idea that he birthed the universe in his greatest sex conquest. But no, God is a prune and boring. Yeah, again, like I said, what would Earth be like without sin? And
that's true.
It was so boring, right? So boring.
Yeah, well, Satan, do you want to come and meet Colin?
Oh, Colin, yes.
Yeah. He could do with a sort of,
a
hard. Yeah. Well, he'd probably like that actually, but yeah. Colin is just he's hard tied in the bedroom at the moment.
Okay.
And he enjoys it, but you know.
Do you want a double team in back, or do you?
No. I wasn't gonna. No, I had to hard tie him because he was in the waterfall.
Oh, well,
and he was just being a nuisance.
Well,
by all means, you can go ahead and fuck him.
Yeah,
by all means.
I mean, if you want to join halfway through, I'll try.
Oh no, I'm good. Thanks. I've got my family.
Oh.
So.
You fuck your family.
Well, my wife, not my kids.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I wouldn't blame you for this because I'm the devil. So.
Well, that's
anyway,
a bit disturbing.
See you guys.
Yeah, bye.
See ya. Okay, that was weird.
Right, well, I'm gonna, get back on the barbecue station. Got a lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah, all right.
Talk to you guys in a bit.
See you, Rick. God.
Well, that was. I don't even know what to say.
I
didn't. You know what? We went here on holiday.
Yeah.
To just come to our mate Rick's house. I didn't fully even believe that Rick was a god. He texted us saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm a primordial being and I know God." But I didn't really believe him until I came here, and I definitely did not think that I would see the devil himself today.
Okay, I don't want to say it too loudly because I don't want him to hear, but I don't believe that story 100% either. No, I think so. You have to think that God's story of how it all happened and his story, I'm sure, somewhere in between is the truth. You would imagine.
Okay.
That's what I think. I just think that story seemed a bit far-fetched to me. Or maybe it's because I also don't want to believe it.
Yeah, well, it was very disturbing. It was a disturbing story.
He also seemed like a very disturbing man. He, God, or whatever he is, demon, devil. But
can you hear
screaming?
Moaning, moaning and screaming.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can they? They've opened the window on purpose.
Oh right. Oh shit. Rick seems pretty pissed. He's going up there with a shotgun. I don't know. I'm assuming he's not going to kill the devil. I think he's just going to. I think he's going to kill Colin.
He can't kill Colin, can he?
No. Maybe. I'm sure the devil can stop Rick from killing Colin.
He's still moaning, so nothing's happened yet.
Oh wait, just the moaning's just. Oh, that's got louder. maybe Rick could change his mind and just.
Maybe I don't want to go up there. I don't want to know what's happening.
No,
up there,
I don't.
To be honest,
I'm
fine.
I think if I had to, in the space of like a couple of months, see God fucking Amelia Earhart, and Rick and the Devil double teaming Colin.
It's a lot.
I might
it's
have
a
to
lot.
end my life.
Yeah, it is a lot. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. To be honest, I was coming here for the burgers, coming here to meet our mate Rick.
Yeah.
And enjoying the nice view, you know, you got the waterfall, you got the paradise of the forest, the ranchiest ranch you've ever seen in your life.
The ranchiest ranch I've ever seen. Yeah, it is. If
really nice.
If anyone could just imagine that, it's a great.
You know what? Do you reckon he's got a lot of land here? Do you reckon we should ask him if we can sort of move our studio here?
We could do.
Because it is sort of godlike. Although I don't really want to live in Texas.
No, I don't, with all the racists. And
but maybe a holiday home.
Yeah, we could.
Because honestly, this is the best scenery I've seen.
I think we should decide after like tomorrow, because this is obviously just during the. What time is it now? It's about 6 o'clock in the evening. I think the real party is about to begin. And we'll see what goes from there. Because Rick, he doesn't seem drunk at all. He's had a couple of beers.
No, well, I don't know if he can get drunk if he's a primordial being.
Well, I'm assuming he can choose to.
Maybe, yeah.
Because
he's got a lot on his plate at the moment. You know, he probably doesn't want to be drunk with Colin around.
Yeah, but I don't know. If I was him, you'd just think, "Fuck this! This day has been." Stressful and
instant
confusing.
Intoxication.
You just want to let your hair down.
Well, maybe you will. I mean, we've just had dinner, so I'm assuming we're gonna get sort of the music down and the party pumping.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bodies here. Although the party will be a bit weird. I've never been to a party before where 99% of the inhabitants are related.
Yeah,
it
is cult-ish, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, especially since they're Italian guns.
Yeah, and they all have
look
the same.
They all look
like
sort of Norwegian, Norwegian complexion.
Yes, they all look like Targaryens.
I don't think they like us very much.
No, well, it's probably because we have a podcast table in the middle of their
of their family events.
Yeah,
and they also don't know.
We haven't really
they don't know who we
ourselves. Maybe we should do that now.
We'll
wrap this up and go.
I've seen the grandma smile at me quite a lot. So with the ex-wife. I don't.
Yeah, I
bet she is a grandma because she's had kids. So technically, she is a grandma.
Well, yeah, we should maybe introduce ourselves, find out what her name is, and
let's mingle.
Yeah, and really, let's really.
Are you finished with your burger?
I am. I might go find another maybe, or some I don't know if there's anything
Satan
else.
has sort of torched everything on the barbecue, but maybe Rick took some off before he leapt through there.
Yeah, alright, cool. Well, I think this has been an excellent podcast.
Beautiful, yeah.
I think we should wrap this up and go fucking party with Rick. And
I think whatever party is going to happen, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I wonder if
we're partying with two gods.
Well, I wonder if more will appear.
A war?
Sorry, I think if more will appear.
I thought you meant war as in the horsemen of the apocalypse.
Oh,
I wouldn't put it past them. To be honest.
The god of war.
Kratos or Ares or Mars. There's a lot of god of war.
There is, isn't there? Anyway, we'll give you a little rundown next time.
Yeah, we might give you a rundown of what happened. If anything interesting happens, we'll give you a little rundown of it in the next show. But if we don't, you can just. It's safe to assume that we just had a very nice time with two primordial beings, and Colin didn't do anything too fucked.
No, Colin. I'm glad he honestly didn't appear on the podcast because I kind of hate him.
Yeah, same.
Good. I'm glad we agree on that.
Okay, well, if I take your plate, clean up a bit, we can go talk to Drama.
Yeah, okay.
Brilliant. Okay. Hey. Hi, we haven't met.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Radio in the Weeds. Make sure to tune in next week for jokes, gags, and general tomfoolery. Bye bye!